some reason, these numbers now coming in, I'm not seeing them on here. We are at the top of the hour, so let me see if I can. There we go. There we go. Now they jumped in. Jenna, Ron, everybody, good morning. Okay, here's what I'm going to do. Let me see. There we go. Joe Norman, good morning. Dr. Dennis, good morning. Dan, good morning.
Guten Morgen.
Good morning. Good morning, good morning. I want to do a few things. I'm going to turn the tones off so that they keep coming in. Then the tone. You won't hear those coming or going. I'm going to mute the call with
muted.
You. Okay, so we have muted the call. So good. Well, good morning. Welcome to the Breakfast Club. It's the 30th of August. We're obviously running into September, and unbelievably, the summer is almost over. It's hard to believe that we ran through a summer. And Dr. Dennis, first of all, let's address you. How are things up in the storm in New York? I know you don't have power, but at least you didn't yesterday. So how you doing up there?
Good, and thanks for asking, and thanks everybody who called in. Yeah, it was a big storm, a lot of trouble. We were without any kind of power, water, or anything for about 3 days. But we're good today, and this is Chamber of Commerce weather now. After that storm passed by, that devil passed us by. Blue skies, light breeze, 75, 80 degrees. Couldn't be a nicer day. And thanks for asking, and we made it. And I'll tell you, KB came to mind when everything shut down and all the electricity. Credit cards, you couldn't do this, you couldn't do that. It's amazing how stuff, the currency sounded pretty good 2 days ago. The trade goals were good.
Let me address Taylor. I unmuted your line, Taylor. Are you there? Can you hear me?
I'm here.
Good. So I just wanted to hear about New Jersey. Everything okay where you are? That's down in, down where I was. I just left there. So did that get hit pretty hard?
Actually, Joe, we really lucked out. We had some hard rain and some high winds, but no damage, no real bad, storm here. So we lucked out. But I'm way in southern Jersey. As you know, you were in Medford. I'm here in Hamilton. So everything's good. Everything's great. We never lost power or anything. So sorry, Dr. Dennis.
I drove out of the driveway with my friend washing his car when I left, and then about an hour later, he's calling me, telling me his car was shaking in the driveway the day of the earthquake. That was pretty bizarre. I just left there.
Yeah.
Anyway, thanks. And
thanks for asking, Joe.
You're welcome. I'm going to leave your line open. I want you to join our discussion this morning. Can you do that?
Sure.
Good. Perfect. We're looking for the Taylors of the world to join us during the week and nighttime. So I would like to talk to you about that, actually. But anyway, good morning, everyone, and I hope everybody else is doing fine. I know there was an entire town wiped out in New York. It was terrible. I watched it on the news, and it's just insanely crazy. But fortunately, it wasn't you, Dennis. So there we go. Anyway, I was thinking, way back when we kind of first started using the Breakfast Club. We had some somewhat controversial calls, and some people didn't like the direction that didn't like what we were talking about, how the dollar was going south and it wasn't going to be worth, and the government and whatever. And I don't have any problem with that, and I'm certainly not a government basher, but I do know this: in order for us, some people, and a lot of people, to understand, because people are asking questions about why should I be buying gold and why should I buy it from KB Vision. And, the reason you should be buying gold is the reason that the people didn't like the controversy, which is the dollar. Our dollar is becoming worth less and less and less, and it's because more money's being printed and because it wasn't managed properly. And on top of the fact that no fiat currency has ever sustained itself over time. It's impossible to do. I mean, obviously, they don't have the formula to make it work, and they keep trying over, 1,000 years, hundreds of years, I guess. But I wanted to address that with you, Joe Norman, because I know that you're very up on the dollar deflating and not being worth what it's supposed to be. But that's the reason why we should be buying KB gold, here at KB Vision.
And so I just wanted you to kind of comment on where the economy is right now a little bit. I know sometimes it sounds like we're talking about the same old thing, but to me, I think there is a controversy in the United States, and the controversy is, do you believe that the dollar is losing its value, and what the impact is? And I think that's the problem. It's not so much. I think everybody knows the dollar is not worth what it was before, and it's not going to be worth the same next week and the week after and the year after. The problem is what to do about it. And I think that is the direction that people need to talk to people about. What do you do about it? Dan asks that question all the time. Are you aware that? And so on. And I'd like to ask those kinds of questions. Are you aware? Did you know that X, Y, Z? And what are you doing about it? So I just kind of wanted to address that with you, Joe.
Okay. Well, you know what? I'm always fascinated by what's happening with the dollar and the economy and the Federal Reserve and the stock market and all that stuff. You know, back, Joe, when I played professional football, I was pretty much a poster boy for a dumb jock. I had pretty much zero financial intelligence. I had an agent that paid all my bills, and I basically just I was the epitome of gliding along with good intentions. And, you know, I wanted to make money. I wanted to know how to invest and be a businessman, but I had no clue. Well, all of a sudden, you know, 5 knee surgeries later, I was looking at being forced into an early retirement, and then I had to decide what I want to be when I grow up, you know.
Yeah.
So I decided I wanted to go into business, and to make a long story short, Joe, it's the competitive nature inside of me. I don't like to lose. I don't like to get shoved around. Mm-hmm. So I just made a decision, you know, I can learn this stuff. If someone else did, I can too. Mm-hmm. And I know it is highly controversial, Joe, and I know you have taken some heat, as we all have. You know, hey, you know, the average person doesn't know about all that stuff or doesn't care about all that stuff. Well, you know what? At the end of the day, if you're breathing the same air I am, it affects you. Mm-hmm. That's the bottom line. It affects you. It is going to impact your life whether you know it or not. I'm just the kind of person that if it's going to impact my life, I want to know why and how and what I can do to position myself to be on the winning side, because people may not realize it, but money isn't lost ever. It just changes hands.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
So the question is, if you are one of those people that want to you know, give the reason or the excuse or whatever you want to label it, you know, I don't want to know about that stuff. I don't care about that stuff. Just tell me what I'm supposed to do. Well, okay. I mean, you can go into it with that kind of attitude, but I would rather, you know, give the reasons and make a case for why we feel, and there's no guarantees, but based on evidence in the court of law, Your Honor, based on the evidence that's been presented before the jury, here's the verdict. And the verdict is, we believe, based on fundamental reasons and technical reasons, that the price of gold is going to go much higher. So we, with KB Vision, make money 2 ways, basically. One way, and the what's built right into the system is take your paper money and exchange it for gold with KB on a monthly plan or a one-time purchase or a periodic purchase. We all recommend the monthly plan for many, many reasons. But then when you have skin in the game with KB, as the price of gold goes up, so will your account value. I just did some numbers yesterday, and in the last 30 days, those of us that have made that quality decision and have purchased, we've pulled the trigger, we have skin in the game. Our accounts, our gold account is up 11% in 30 days.
Yay!
Woo!
Cool.
So, Joe, let me ask this question. So that's one reason, but let's talk about why KB Gold. I mean, I know there's one reason right there. Absolutely one reason right there. It's up, but why KB Gold?
Okay, great question. I just had a conversation on the phone with a brand new member. He's an analytical, kind of an engineer type, and he was brought in by a person in my organization I'm working very closely with that lives in Spain, and Malcolm's probably on the line, and maybe the gentleman is too. I don't know, but he was looking at buying 1 gram Kinnabar. He understands why Kinnabar. He gets it. He's smart, and he knows that it's the only form of bullion in the world that you cannot counterfeit. Coins, bars, ingots, all the other stuff can and is from time to time counterfeited, and any asset class, whether it's real estate, stocks, whatever, it is worth what the market says it's worth. It is worth what people are willing to pay for it. So as an asset that goes up and down in price, just like real estate, just like any asset, tangible asset, the prices never stay the same. It's going to go up and down based on what the market says it's worth. And so what I had to do is explain to him, yeah, there are other companies, a handful, less than a handful, that produce Kinnabar grade. Why should you buy from KB? Well, let me make a case. First of all, if you buy from UBS, you're going to pay more. I've tracked the price side by side with all comers, KB and the other companies that produce Kinnabar. And in the last 8 months, there's been 2 days that KB did not have the best price. KB has consistently had a better price than any other manufacturer of Kinnabar grade 999.9, ranging from 2 to 4% better price consistently. So reason number 1, price. Reason number 2, convenience. And we have an online system where you're always just a few clicks away from owning gold. You can Google and wade your way through to find UBS and try to wade your way through figuring out a new website, or just have one source. So convenience and ease of purchasing is reason number 2. Now, reason number 3 is if you are like Joe Shoup, Dr. Dennis, Taylor Eckhart, and all the rest of us on this call, and you're willing and able to refer others, you're going to get a referral reward loaded onto a debit card that they send you, and then you can use those earnings to purchase more gold. And in my view, it's not actually free because it did cost you some time and attention, but as far as money, it didn't cost you anything. That's free gold. And that is about the best cost basis that I know of, and I don't think you can find a better price than free. So that's another reason. So, add it all up, and these are all things that you can't get from any other source, Joe.
Hey, Taylor, can you hear me?
I can.
Good. You want to comment on that a little bit and talk about what you're doing and what you think about that?
Well,
I don't put you on the spot. I never asked you to do this before, but I guess this is.
No, that's okay. I'm flattered.
Good.
Well, I'll tell you, I couldn't agree with Joe more when it comes to the price and the value. The bottom line is people should be asking, what's the value of the gold, not so much what's the price. I learned a long time ago that you get what you pay for, and I've learned to go for quality. So I love our Kinnabar grade. I have no intention of buying from gold from any other company in the world. I think KB has this product just ultimately, beautiful. It's convenient. It's at a good price point, as Joe says. For the value we're buying at, it's convenient. So, I got gold right away, Joe. I never questioned. after viewing the information about the company and what they've done and what their product is, I got it, and I never have questioned what we have our hands on here. It's just mind-boggling that, as Joe shares, this product has gone up 11% in the last 30 days. I mean, think about that. That's incredible. So I'm just glad I'm a part of this, and that I have whatever it took to fund our account, I was willing to do, because I do get that gold is going to continue to go up, and that we want to be a part of that, not to mention sharing this wonderful opportunity with others and giving them the chance to change their financial situation and be a part of this. So
getting paid for referring to the other people too. I mean, you're getting paid to do that. You get that referral fee, so I know you're part of that, and that's fantastic. Perfect. Well, anyway,
I've got one comment on that.
Yep. Thanks.
When we talk about free gold, I had somebody said, Dan, that's not free gold. That's like commissions from your work. That's like money from a job. And my response is very clear. Well, maybe you're right in month 1. But what about month 2 when somebody makes another deposit in that account? How much more work did you do to make more money? None. Now that is residual income, and when your commissions when your commissions are more than your deposits in your accounts, that is free gold. Literally, it is free gold above and beyond that. It did not require any more time to create that. And in one perspective, why KB Gold? Look at guys. Somebody told me this was a bunch of hype about all the currencies in the world. It is not. I'm being direct to everybody listening to this. There is a paradigm shift that is here. It is upon us right now. The fiat currencies in the world are on the move. They are on the move. And when they start to create massive problems in society as we try and do different things, the money itself is the problem. All the other challenges we face in society are merely the symptoms of the problems with the money. Money's not the problem. The problems that we see aren't the problems. The money is what is the problem. This backed by nothing, printing out of thin air is going to do nothing but cause massive challenges in our lives, in everybody's lives across the world. If you get behind that and understand that we need to, any challenges that we face in society, we need to fix the money first. The money is what we use to fix the problems. It has to be true money before it's going to be able to do what we need to do to fix that. So why KB Gold? Nobody's doing what we're doing. Nobody anywhere. We are in the advent of a new global gold money and an honest money system, connecting consumers to merchants to the producers of the gold money and the honest money system altogether. That is the significance of why KB Gold. And you know what? Let me ask you a question. Is across the planet gold mining going nuts? All over the place. Amazon basin, China, India, you name it, country after country. If you had read an article about what's going on down in the Amazon basin, they're strip mining, they're using mercury and cyanide. Where do you think that stuff's going? That's going to the river basin, man. You think that's going to cause some problems? Let me tell you what, KB's process is going to be the tactical player in gold production. If you see it, you're on the right track with our company. Now, we're going to make some transitions as we go, so expect them. We're not going to be perfect, but we will resolve them and move forward. So I want to exude some confidence that you are totally on the right track. And we have no competitors in what we do. None. You know, in the blink of an eye, I want to say something. In the blink of an eye, everything you know changes. So time is the most precious asset you have, not money. But so when you have days when your game in what you do is dead on, and man, everything's clicking, relish it, enjoy it, because there's going to be days that it's not. And for those days, my only suggestion to you is this: that's why they make new ones. Okay?
You noticed, this is very interesting. Joe Norman, I am assuming that you saw this, but I think I was reading Forex Factory maybe last week, and it's been interesting to see there were about 4 or 5 countries, including Italy and Greece, that were now considering selling their gold supplies to pay their national debt. Did you see that?
Oh, my. Yeah.
Yeah. So just imagine, think about that for a minute about having gold. Here's obviously the country themselves know they have to have gold, and certainly they purchase their own gold and have their own gold and stored. And they're considering now using it, selling it off to pay their debt. And if they didn't have that gold, they wouldn't have that option.
Well, if that's not enough to curl your hair, this is, and there has been a groundswell of support for Ron Paul, who has requested an audit of Fort Knox, where our gold reserve used to be, and there is growing evidence that our Federal Reserve and United States government already has sold our gold. Yeah. Not going to, already has. It's not there. And so far, they have repelled by calling him a kook and a right-wing extremist. And, of course, the gold's there. You have to believe us. And, well, let's see it. Let's audit it. That's what he says. And so far, he hasn't been successful. But anyway, our intention isn't to scare people into doing anything. But again, you don't want to put your head in the sand like an ostrich either. And I think it's always a better idea to be proactive. And if you don't have the time to do the research, you have a choice. You either believe it when others that do the research report and give you their evidence, just like a court of law. Here's the evidence, and you're the jury. Everyone's their own jury, and you're going to make decisions on your own. But certainly, it's never a bad idea to have some gold in your portfolio, even if all this stuff is a bunch of overblown rumors, which I believe it is not. I believe it's all not all of it, but most of what we've discussed here, in fact, everything we've discussed on the Breakfast Club, I believe to be true. But I think it makes great sense, especially in this economic environment. These are turbulent times, and even I will go so far as to say historic times that we live in. Joe and everyone, I submit to you, we have never seen $14 trillion debt before, ever in the history of our country. So this is historic time, and they just passed and wrote into law the ability for our government to run up another they just authorized it, another $2 trillion plus to be added to that 14. Again, we've never been there before, and part of the education that I have received in the financial arena is to know that Newton's law, for every action there's a reaction. So as they print this next $2 trillion, there's going to be a reaction. Go to Kitco, Kitco, kitco.com, and you'll see right now what the market's reaction to some of that is today. Gold's up $42 an ounce. And what you all need to know is that if it closes for the day, especially this much, KB Vision's spot price for 1 gram in our back office lags the market by about 1 day. So I can't tell you enough, if you have not done a purchase yet this month, if you have waited, today is what I call a buy day. You know, the last 2 days we've had a little bit of a sell-off, and that's just nothing but floor traders taking profits. But long-term trend is up, and you're going to see more days like today. And it's just a license to print money for us, guys. And we go in there and buy today, you're going to have a profit tomorrow. And I don't know how much longer the KB programmers will allow that to be the case, but I mean, it's just like the analogy I give, and maybe it's not the best, but it's like going to a horse race where they have betting, and you go to the window to place a bet, and you already know the horse that won the race, so you know which one to bet on. So when you see an up day like this, you know that's a day to buy, because tomorrow the spot price is going to go up. But as you know, nothing ever goes straight up or straight down. It chops up, chops down, chops up, chops down, and that's why I like the site that I just gave you, Kitco, because it has charts in there, and we've discussed, all of us on the call today, the fundamental reasons why the price should go up. But then you've got the technical reasons, and that's where charts come into play. And if you look at the historic chart tab and go, you can go back as long as you want to go. I like to go back 10 years, look at a 10-year chart, a 5-year chart, a 3-year chart, a 1-year chart, a 3-month or 90-day chart, and then a 1-month chart, and then a 1-week chart. And when you see higher highs and higher lows, that is a technical indicator that the price wants to go much higher. There are some day traders and even floor traders and institutional traders, that's all they look at. They don't even care about the fundamentals. They're technical traders. And when you see the convergence of fundamental and technical reasons, this is, again, historic times, uncharted water. We've never had a time in our lives. I'm 50. I'll be 55 years old in October. And I've been very serious about financial markets and trading and so on and so forth for several years now. In my career, I've never seen a convergence of fundamental and technical indicators any stronger than they are right now. That indicates the price is going to go much higher. So what that really means is, when it comes to business, timing is everything. There's never been a better time to get a position with KB and get it in front of as many eyeballs as you can. And the more frequency that you do that, the more eyeballs you get this message in front of, the higher your income will be with this, because you can't say the wrong thing to the right person, and we also know you can't say the right thing to the wrong person. Does everybody care about this kind of stuff? No, they don't. Unfortunately, they should, but they don't. But there is a growing segment of this population worldwide that do care. And when they see this, they will have enough financial IQ to recognize the strength of this program, and they will get involved. Back to you, Joe.
Yep. We are at the bottom of the hour, and we are definitely going to try to keep these calls certainly less than an hour, and we've been trying to do that. Sometimes we don't, but let's do this. Any questions? 4-star on your telephone keypad, comments or questions. We can't. Comments are nice. Right now, we really need to keep some questions here, and I'll close with something here. But Dr. Dennis, I see you're back on. You must be getting kicked on and off here. I'm watching that for you. But if you have any questions, 4-star on your telephone keypad. 4-star, 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 4-star. 4-star telephone keypad. Okay, so we don't have any questions or whatever. Let's do this.
That's 5-star, Joe.
I apologize. I'm sorry. 5-star. Oh, thank you for correcting.
Yeah, 5-star. Mute your line. Yeah.
Joe, can you hear me?
There we go. I can. I got Tom question here, but go ahead, Dennis.
Okay, 2 things. Really simple. All that stuff is great. It's simple. What Boomer said before, someone said, oh, it's not free gold. You actually have to go out and put some time in and do something. Well, yeah. That's the whole purpose.
But people don't get paid unless, as you know, I mean, every industry product has to move from manufacturer to consumer. That's how we get paid. That's what this is about. It's, if you go back to bartering, it's the same thing. You get something, you give something. Here, you have to give something here, whether it's time or it's money. But either way, product has to move. It has to leave the manufacturer and has to get to the consumer. And in order to get paid, you got to get in the middle of the transaction somewhere. I don't care if you're a secretary or you're an accountant or whatever. Everybody gets in the middle to get something. That's what happens. But by the time the consumer and someone passes money, passes the payment, no one gets paid. No one makes any money at all until that occurs. So we have to be really conscious of that and the effort that we put forth. Let me go to Tom. I got Tom, 480 ending in 15. Tom, your line is unmuted. Welcome to the Breakfast Club.
Yes, thanks. I just had a question. It's pretty basic. Joe mentioned if you haven't funded your account this month, what are the parameters? What's defined as a month? Is it the actual month from the 1st to the 31st, or is it the commission run? What is defined as a month?
Oh, that's a great question. The cyclical month revolves around the commission cycle, Tom, and that runs the 11th till the 10th. So we still have another 11 days to the end of this commission cycle, but those of us that have been active with the program certainly look forward to the 1st of each month as well. Why do we do that? That's when we get paid. So tomorrow is the 1st. Is there 30 days this month? Let me look at August. No, it's 31.
31.
So in 2 days, we get paid. So we look forward to that, obviously. And Thursday, they'll load money onto our debit cards. Most of it, all of us probably on this call that have been active now have our debit cards, and we have activated those cards. And on the 1st, they will load the card, and then you'll be able to spend those funds as you please. So 2 important dates each month. The 10th is when the commission run closes, and the 1st is when we get paid.
Okay, thanks.
Joe, if I could, this is Dennis. Can I say something real quick there? That is really important, I think. Okay?
Oh, absolutely. You know you don't have to ask, right? Dennis is very polite, so you don't have to ask that. You know that. Just go ahead.
Here, in the middle of this hurricane, I took twice my debit card. I took it out from KB, and they swiped it for goods that I purchased in the middle of a hurricane that came from the sweat of my brow of picking up the phone and calling someone, telling them about the program, sharing the tools, and that acquired commissions, and it was loaded on the card, and I used it twice in the middle of a hurricane. If you don't think that's worth it, I don't know what to say. So I just thought that's a good perspective. Anyway.
Well, let's talk on Thursday, coming up Thursday. First of all, between now and Thursday, we will be working on a Thursday evening, 8 o'clock Breakfast Club. Obviously, it's not breakfast time, but it will be a nighttime Breakfast Club to give people a chance to get in. And our main goal is to have our women leaders on that call. So I know Deanna Kennedy is on the call right now, and she's going to participate depending on her nighttime job that she does have. So we're going to have to discuss that with her, and also Margaret in Hawaii. And, of course, Taylor, I want to talk to you about that today if we could do that. And if anybody has any recommendations for that, we need to contact Joe, Norman, or Dan, or myself, or Dr. Dennis, and we need to discuss that. We really do want to have more women on the call here. We want to talk about different issues and different strategies. And I know there's really one strategy in recruiting, and that is to get the information in front of people. That's what you have to do. You've got to get your information in front of people. If you're on a referral basis, and that's what you want to do is build a team and not just purchase gold, then you have to tell people that you exist, that this company exists and what it's about. And you do that through the tools without having to educate yourself on how to explain it. You learn how to use the system as opposed to explaining why gold. You use the system properly, ask the right questions,
put them in front of information, ask them a simple question of, on a scale of 1 to 10, what is your interest level, and move them to a person who is more equipped. And that's the simple process of moving people through the system. There has to be a system whereby recruiting never stops. I learned that 22 years ago from my mentor back in those days, and it's you have to develop or be part of a system whereby recruiting never stops. If you want your business to continue to grow, if you're going to help KB continue to grow, then that is what must be in place. That's fundamental. It's a foundational thing. You have to be part of the system whereby recruiting never stops. And that doesn't mean that at some point you don't stop. And I don't mean you stop within a few months. I know there was a leader on a call one night with my own people that he was invited to a call here at KB. And he did say, I recruited 3 people, and I'm stopped now. Now I don't do anything. I just help people. Please don't follow that advice. If you were one of my people on that call, don't follow that advice. You don't stop after 3 people. You continue to share the good news. So that's what we want to talk about on Thursday, as well as Thursday night. We'll talk a little bit about the women and what they're doing in the business and what direction we need to go in, what they're doing in Hawaii. So with that, Dan, why don't we go to you to close out here? This is Joe Shoup, so I'm going to turn it over to you, Dan, and let's just close out with some good positive thoughts of what we need to do and where people need to go and how we're moving forward here. So I'm over and out here to everybody. Thanks for being here, and over to you, Dan.
Sure. Hey, guys, schedule. Hey, listen, we have today at noon Pacific, 3 p.m. Eastern, Jimmy Larson does his once-a-week webinar. If you have not seen it, I highly encourage you to do it. Jimmy speaks 6 languages. It's very powerful. It's specifically on the company, the opportunity, the comp plan, etc. I built primarily my business from driving traffic to that. It was very busy. And so I focused my attentions on doing that. Also, I go to mykbgold.us on the More tab, look for schedule of events, and you will see a weekly schedule that is posted and updated. Also, be aware of recorded calls. The access codes for the 2-minute calls, etc., are posted there. If for some reason and they change monthly, so if for some reason your access code doesn't work, make sure that you have it updated with the proper code. And by all means, call somebody today, play the 2-minute call, find out what their level of interest is, and plug them into the tools. And you know what? Never been a better time than to get your account started and funded now. After all, you want to protect the money that you have. So with that, for Joe Shoup, Dr. Dennis Steigerwald, Joe Norman, and Dan Girolamo, Big Boomer,
and Taylor, let me add in there. Taylor, thanks for joining us.
Taylor! Thank you, Taylor. I'm sorry.
No problem. And
we look forward to seeing you on Thursday's event, and we'll everybody have blessings today. Take